Hi folks, this is Naveen again. Today's class we see about following topics. Today I'm going to say about the basic features of Anypoint Studio. I mean basic features in the sense like how IDE looks like, what are all the different components available in the IDE, what is Mule palette, what is Mule design, what is Mule debug, where we can see the console when we run the programs, and the other sections that we are going to see. Okay, let's go to Anypoint Studio. So here we can see the package explorer where we can see all the projects that we are going to create or that we create that will be displayed here. And then in the extreme left to that we have some components like restore, connections explorer if you want to see all the connections, outline, and you have this M unit. Like the J unit, we have M unit here in Mule where we can use that for the unit testing. So you can write your M unit cases here and you can run it here itself. Okay, and if you come down to here, you can see the uh, console, Mule properties, and we can see it in further when we create a flow. Okay, and then here we can see this is where Mule palette will be, and this is Mule design, and this is Mule debug. So we will see going forward like how they will look like. So now I'll show you how to create a project. Click file, new, and then create Mule project. It is opening up. It is taking a bit time. We'll wait for it. Yeah, we need to give a project name. That will be test DV connection. And you can see in the runtime it is taken as Mule server 3.8.0 EE. That is the latest one and that we are using. And you can see some other settings like Maven settings, which we are not going to use currently. Later part we can see like going forward when we are familiar with the other components, then we will see about the Maven settings. And then the version control system, if you want anything like you can select it here, like create a default git ignore file, and then the API kit settings that will go like we'll come to know later part. Click next, and then which JRE you should use. Like now it is Java SE 1.8, and then create separate folders like whatever required we can select here, and then click next. Okay, done. Finish. Okay, so now the project has been created and we can see the structure like how it has been created. The project name is test DB connection, and this is all the Mule structure like how it will create. All our flows will be there in app folder and the corresponding API, or if we have any Java related files we can place there, and the resources folder will have the log4j, and if you are going to create any properties kind of things like configuration properties, that will be available in resources, WSDL, and if you are doing any munit test cases and all, you can write it here like src test java. So this is how the Mule project has been structured. So you can go through this, and now you can see the flow has been created with the name test DB connection, and this is what our canvas where we can design the Mule flow. Okay, and in this you can see first tab it is message flow, and then global elements. If you are creating any global elements, that will be displayed here, and we can create all those global elements here. And then the configuration XML, whatever the things you are putting into the message flow, that will be written to XML automatically, that we can show here. So now let's just drag whatever is required. HTTP drag and put it here in the flow. So you can see it has been created, and we'll drag a logger. So now if we go and see in the configuration XML, we can see that it has written the code for the components whichever we have added. You can see flow name is test db connection flow. HTTP listener we have added one, and the configuration reference now currently it is not having anything because we didn't configure, and then the logger level has been added. So now if we go and see, let's click that. We need to provide the configurations for HTTP. So when I clicked on that, you can see here like all the properties which are available and that we need to configure. So in general we can see all these things, advanced, nodes and metadata if you want anything. So mostly we'll be doing that in the general. And now you can see the display name which is showing as HTTP. We can change it like whatever way we want. HTTP db test, and then create configuration. We don't have anything, so we need to create one. I just clicked on add, and it will open up the configuration for HTTP listener configuration. So generally we'll be selecting a local host. Default port it will take it as 8081. You can change it the way you want based on the requirement. And the base path you just give test db connection. That's it. These are the default whichever is required for HTTP listener. Okay, and we have some more configurations like TLS and SSL based on the requirement. Like if you want to use a SSL connection, then you need to configure all those things here like path, password, type, algorithm, and the key store configuration whichever is required for the SSL. So that is it. We have configured HTTP, and now when I save it, you can see the red mark has been gone on the HTTP test DB. And then on the logger, if you select, you can give whatever the message you want. Hi, this is for DB connectivity. Okay, and you can see here that level you can change like whatever you want: info, trace, warning, error, debug based on the requirement. So I'm just selecting it as info. Done. We are saved. And to run this, right click here. You can run project test db connection. When you click on this run, it automatically builds and then deploys the application. And if you want to debug your project, then you can say you will select this debug. So for that you need to add the breakpoint first. So once you have added breakpoint, then you can run your application in debug mode. So when you run it in debug, it will go here like you can see here mule design and mule debug. So it will go into the mule debug mode, and you can see the debugger. So when you run, it will show all the debugging instructions like how you can moving forward. That I'll show you how. Okay, so now we'll run that in the debug. Just give few minutes so that it will start. Until that, I'll start the Postman. So I hope you know the Postman. Okay, so we can see application is deployed. So we'll go here, and now the URL is 8081, but the base path we have given is test db connection, and I'm saying send. Okay, results not found. So that is it, folks, about the basic components of MuleSoft. Thanks for watching.